Oh, whoops. Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everyone's doing great. Thanks for joining today. I'm excited to be here. Welcome to BoldTrail. I'm going to spend a few minutes on who we are, what our mission is. We'll talk about a few new things that you'll see if you're a part of the migration that's coming soon. And then we're going to talk about really our philosophy around the platform so you can understand our approach to the way that we innovate and create the technology. And along the way, we'll get a peek at some of the tools that you have available to you in BoldTrail. So let's get started. All right. So, what is BoldTrail? You can see the path we've taken as a company here, and you can see all the platforms and point solutions we've adopted into our tech family. From the beginning, we've strived to create a platform that combines all the right tools for agents, teams, and brokers to be truly successful in real estate from beginning to end. Over the years, we've acquired what we believe wholeheartedly to be the best of the best to give you the most complete and seamless experience possible, all in one place. Because we believe that you should be able to access all of your tech with one login. BoldTrail combines everything from kvCORE's automation and marketing to the team-focused systems that BoomTown had perfected and everything in between, creating a new level of intelligent tech, not just more features, not louder AI, but smarter systems that actually grow your business. And before I continue, I'm actually hearing a little bit of feedback, so I wonder if we've got somebody who needs to mute. Just give that a second. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, so BoldTrail was built to help you and your team drive 5 times more conversations and conversions with your database, convert 2 times more deals from nurture to close, and run with the kind of smart automation, mobile AI, and system intelligence that gives leaders control and agents real productivity. As you migrate or opt into BoldTrail, there will be a few new things you'll notice right off the bat. The first is going to be the search experience. We've reimagined the way that you can search and navigate in your platform by incorporating this OmniSearch module. Now, you can search not only lead, is that, I'm not sure where that audio is coming from. Okay, great. I'll continue. Sorry about that. I'm having a little bit of feedback here. All right. I think we've solved the issue. Thanks for being patient with me. Okay, so let's try again. So back to OmniSearch. Um, OmniSearch gives you the ability to not only search your leads, but it gives you access to more relevant tools, and you can initiate certain actions right from the OmniSearch bar. I keep clicking on the wrong slide here too. Here we go. Okay. You'll also have an enhanced mobile app experience, which is very exciting. It's faster, smarter, and it's really built with you in mind. We know that you work on the go, so we've streamlined the navigation. We've created clear task actions and updated the visuals. The new custom pages editor is such a cool feature. It gives you the ability to customize your website experience. You can create beautifully designed pages and add more relevant content than you ever could before. using templated sites, it gives you greater flexibility. It's fast, it's simple, and there's no coding required. So you can make the most of your experience and make it what you want and need to target the right audience. And there's a lot more, right? We've got a modernized interface and platform experience. We've created a centralized task view that consolidates your daily activities, whether they're calls, follow-ups, reminders. Everything is available in one single accessible location. The MLS deduplication is another one I'm excited about. It automatically resolves any duplicate listings from across overlapping MLSs, just creating a cleaner, more user-friendly website experience for you and your consumers. Let's talk about automation. I love this quote: "You don't automate to get rid of the human, you automate to amplify the human." And automation and AI are going to be some pretty big topics here as we continue to move forward. So I just wanted to kick off with that thought. So let's dive in. These are some of the biggest roadblocks that are really keeping you from increasing your transactions in GCI. Lead generation, follow-up, conversion, and client management. It doesn't matter if you're a broker, team, or single agent. These are what we know to be the biggest challenges across the board. So we're going to hit on these today, and we're going to talk about how to solve these problems. But also, let's just address the elephant in the room. The battle for the consumer is happening. There's two things I want to point out here. We've got this kind of consumer demand idea. There's companies like Amazon and Google who have just trained consumers to think and act differently because of the way they do business. But also we have companies like Zillow, Rocket Mortgage, and all these kind of big companies who are going after the same consumer, and you're competing with them. So there is this battle for the consumer. However, the consumer journey tells us that if we look at consumer engagement statistics from NAR, that actually 90% of consumers still started their search online. 85% visited an agent's website during the homeowner journey, and 75% register on an agent's website for a listing alert. So this tells us that there is still a massive engagement from the consumer with individual agents, meaning you still have a lot of opportunity. To really capitalize on this, though, and grow your business, you have to figure out how to personalize more of the tools and more of the touch with the consumer. Because if you look at all of the apps that we access today, they really are delivering a very personalized experience. And this is what consumers want. You get on Netflix, it makes recommendations based on what you've liked or what you've watched, right? Same with Spotify, Amazon. You're shown things that are really personalized to you. And so consumers are starting to expect that same level of personalization in every aspect of shopping, right? Well, we believe that focusing on these three areas of the foundation for growth is going to help you do that. So what do I mean by be found, be connected, be involved? Be found is really how you're getting in front of new leads, getting in front of more eyeballs, broadening your audience, and getting more people to fill your pipeline. Be connected is really more revolving around conversations. How are you driving conversations with new leads, with your existing leads, and just really staying connected with those people until they're at a point in their journey where they're ready to transact. And then being involved is, how do you stay involved throughout the entire homeowner journey, the consumer life cycle? Because it's going to vary based on what phase they're in. And we'll talk more about phases here shortly. But why don't we let's dive into more what it means to be found. A huge part of this is the ability to drive traffic to what I refer to as your online store, which is your website. You own an individual store or website and a brand, and you're responsible for driving traffic to that. What really matters most is that you are driving traffic, you're dropping leads into the funnel. We know that not all of the leads that drop into your funnel are going to be ready to transact right now, but getting them to your website and getting them to engage with some of your content is half the battle. So an example we like to use is if you have 10 leads that come into your funnel, we bet you'll probably be able to connect with half of those, meaning you'll probably be able to get in contact with them, whether it's a phone call, a text message. You'll be able to make some form of contact. And then out of those 5, you probably have 2 or 3 who might be actually motivated to buy in the next year. And then out of those, 2 or 3, you might have 1 or maybe even less that end up becoming a transaction at the end of the year. So, 10 is probably not the best example. It's easy to show you how your chances kind of get cut in half with the number of leads that drop into your pipeline. But really, we want to be looking at higher lead volume than just 10 leads. And the way you do that is you're either spending time or money on your marketing and lead generation plans. So some of you are spending more money than time, and some of you are spending more time than money. But I can guarantee that all of you are doing a little bit of both right now. And you're the only one who knows what mix is going to be right for you to be able to deliver the right number of leads into your platform that is really going to drive the kind of growth that you need or you've set goals around. The tools in BoldTrail allow you to do this. So no matter where you are, no matter whether you need to, dedicate more time or you got a bigger budget, there are a lot of tools that you can use in the platform that are going to allow you the right mix. Playbooks are a game changer, and they're a great example. Specifically, I love the Promote a Listing playbook because it brings together for you all of the tools in the platform that you could possibly need to be found using one of your greatest assets, your listings. Whether you need to maximize opportunities in your existing database or get in front of new eyeballs, this is the collection of free and low-cost options that are going to get you there. And it's just in a really easy to use, click through, decide which tools you want to use to promote your asset, and it's going to get you in front of more people. There's also the BoldTrail lead engine. These are a lot of tools that, you can take one tool and master it and dedicate a little bit of time to creating something like a squeeze page or a landing page. There's pitch sheets, and then you go and you post those out in different places. But there are all sorts of ways and strategies within BoldTrail that allow you to generate leads. And then there are solutions in our marketplace. Everything you find here in the marketplace has been vetted, tested by us, and proven to deliver results for your business. They're also deeply integrated with the platform to give you and your leads the best possible experience for connection and follow-up after they've been captured. Now let's talk about being connected. This is the one, it's all about driving conversations. So you have leads coming in, now what? What the heck do you do with them, right? This is where it's important for you to understand today's consumer. So we mentioned earlier that we know 90% of consumers are starting their search online. And that makes sense because really what they want when they start their search is they just want access to pictures and details of homes. They really, pictures and details of homes are the #1 driver of listing searches. And one of the biggest reasons consumers go online. They also are more interested in finding the information, getting access to the information, and they're less interested in talking to an agent, which is okay. Not everybody's ready to do that right now. But understanding that about the consumer makes it easier for us to understand that we just need to have the content that's going to draw them in, have the website access that's going to keep them coming back to us. And then when they are ready, you can be the person that they raise their hand or tap on the shoulder and they want to talk to. The consumer timeline, this is, one of the ways to think about leads coming into your platform. We know that leads are taking on average 24 months to close from the time they enter the timeline. So we also know that around 60% of buyers are also sellers and vice versa. We know that they often use different agents for each side of the transaction. Why? Well, generally it's going to be because either your content isn't what they're looking for, or we're not asking the right questions, or if they're not ready to talk to us yet, we just give up on them. So, really, it's just important to think about when they're in certain phases, what is important to them. You can see I've got on phase 1, phase 2 in our middle bar here, it's relevant content. For phase 1 leads, these are the people who are hiding behind the wall of the internet. They don't want to talk to you. They know they're becoming a lead, and they're okay with that because they know that becoming a lead means they get access to the information they want. Phase 2, you can sort of start to insert your value proposition here, but they're still doing some of their own research. And this can last for quite some time, but eventually they're going to get to a point where they've done all the research they can do and they're not an expert. They have questions they can't answer on their own. And this is really the ideal phase where they're going to start tapping on you and saying, okay, I do have a question, and getting serious. I know what my timeline is. I know what I'm looking for. And this is kind of the sweet spot. This is where I think ideally we'd like to see people coming in when they're ready and willing to have a conversation with you. And then phase 3, this is, I think, where you probably want all of your leads to be, because this means they're ready to transact in the next few months, right? So, but if everybody came in and they were all a phase 3, it'd be really hard to be able to give the level of service and interaction that you do with those leads. But okay, then I skipped ahead and I gave you guys all a sneak peek at the answer here. What is your number one goal when you get a new lead? I don't know if anybody wants to chat in some answers. Usually I'll hear things like, I want to close the deal. I want to build a relationship. I want to get an appointment. And those are all right answers. You definitely want those things. But really the ultimate goal when you first get a new lead into your system is to stop the search. That has to be your number one goal. How do you eliminate the competition as much as possible and keep them coming back to your store, your website? They're going to see your brand over and over, and you've got to know that they're seeing other agents or other portals, right? But if you can stop their search and get them to come back to your store and realize that if you don't keep them there, they are going to go search somewhere else. How many agents do you think they see on the big portals? Or if your website doesn't have what they're looking for, they're going to go look somewhere else, right? So the idea here is, what am I doing today that's going to stop them from searching with other portals and other agents, even if they're not ready to talk right now? How do I keep connected with them until they're ready? Here's 4 strategies. In BoldTrail, there's really these 4 great strategic tools that are going to help you drive higher lead engagement. Why? Because they're all connected with your platform and with your leads, and because they give you insight into what your consumers are doing when you log into your dashboard. I'm not going to go into the platform and show you the tools today. We have another great session with our lovely training team later on this week that you can attend for a deep dive into the platform and into the tools. But just trying to tie together here that the reason we have these tools is because we know that they drive higher lead engagement. We know that they give you insights into what your consumers are doing when you log into your dashboard. We also know that these tools are providing value to your consumers. This is the relevant content they're looking for, especially your phase 1 and phase 2 leads, right? We know they want access to the pictures and details of homes, and they probably want minimal contact with the agent. So this helps you give them what they want while also allowing you to stay connected with them until they're ready. The other thing I love about this is that 3 of the 4 items on here can be automated. So search alerts are, listing alerts. Everybody does listing alerts, and this is something that can be automated. This is also something that your consumers have access to on the website. They can update their own criteria. So it's something they can manage, and they don't have to contact you to help them narrow down to a different area. But it's something that's going to also keep them coming back to your website and prevent them from going out to other competitive sites until they're ready to talk with you. Market reports are great. Those are also automated. Some people love the market information, some people don't, but it's just another tool that is going to be consistent, getting your brand in front of these consumers and then driving them back to your website. The similar and nearby listings, this one's not an automated feature, but what I love about it is that you can see in your platform which listings a contact has been engaging with. And then if you click in the listing, there's just a button that says similar listings, nearby listings, and it's created this curated list for you, already created, of homes that are either similar to the home your lead engaged with or they're nearby. And it's just a really great way for you to be able to send something to them and say, hey, I saw you were looking at this, wanted to, pass these across your desk, something that you may have missed. Let me know if you see something you like. And then basically you're just adding more value. It's a really, really easy thing to do. So not automated, but super simple and a great way to add value at this stage. Smart campaigns and behavioral automation. I probably would have split those into 2 separate because there's a couple key differences, but quickly I'll just talk about the smart campaigns. We have sets of defaults that you can use as templates. And I always say, something is better than nothing, but we also have a really easy to use inline editor that allows you to go in and just change some of the verbiage so that it can sound more like you. And if you will dedicate a little bit of time to go in and be aware of what's going out on your behalf and turn that automation on, we know that that actually drives a lot of traffic and engagement back to your website and helps you connect with your leads on a more regular basis. Behavioral automation is a little bit different. It does send out communication on your behalf, so it can feel like a smart campaign in a sense. But what I really love about this is it's one of those features that also alerts you when your leads are completing what we would say are, I guess, high intent behaviors. So if you've got these leads that have maybe been in phase 1 or phase 2 and they've been a bit more unengaged, but they start doing activities that are saying, oh, hey, this person might be becoming active, the behavioral automation will alert you to that, and it will send out some communication to the lead because you might be able to snag them while they're actually in more of an active mode. All right, now being involved, this is also about driving conversations, but this is really about how do you drive conversations through the entire consumer journey? Because not everybody's in phase 3, rip roaring and ready to go. And, we're not just talking about new leads either. It's important to be driving conversations with all of your leads, even if they're post-close, right? Of course, the messaging to each group is going to be different, but the strategy is going to be focusing on these 2 things. Number 1, you have to create paths for your consumers to get back into your website. And that's sort of going back to our be found, right? That's how you're marketing or doing lead generation. Those are the lines you're throwing out and creating a path for your consumers to get back to your website. And number 2 is providing relevant content, compelling content for whatever phase of the journey they're in. So what is relevant content? Well, it does depend on what phase they're in. This is what relevant content looks like. Remember, phase 1, this is really going to be the most simple phase, in my opinion, because most of the content they're looking for is sort of done for you, because most of it's going to be area information or listing information. And that kind of information is automatically feeding into your website from the MLS with your IDX connection. There are some other pieces of low-hanging fruit. You could put together like some beginner tips and guides using our custom pages editor that I'll talk about here shortly, but really very low maintenance for you. Phase 2 content, consumers start to get more interested in your value prop. Like I said before, they're interested in your expertise. They'll have specific use cases and questions that they'll need help with, and they'll be more interactive for a CTA or like a call to action that you're throwing out in your communications. If you're telling them, let me know if you have questions, or click here for whatever reason, your phase 2 people are going to be a lot more interactive with those kinds of things. And phase 3, we've been talking about consumers here. They really want the hyper-local content. This is where they're looking for that really personalized experience from you, like we talked about earlier. And if you've been using the tools and strategies that we've just reviewed, it actually makes it really easy for you to do that because of all the insights you get from BoldTrail. You know, whatever they interact with, you're seeing those kinds of activities stamped into their activity stream and their contact record. And, you know, it just helps you create this personalized experience. So you're giving them things that are valuable and that matter to them. You can see all the interaction engagement from your consumers with your website over time. It also tells you what actions they've taken themselves, like setting up listing alerts, or even when their behavior changes, like I said, when they're completing some of these more high intent behaviors. They've been super low key for a while now, but suddenly they're doing things that indicate maybe they're entering phase 2 or phase 3. And you can see that with these behavior triggers when you're logging into your platform. And if you do that on a regular basis and make it part of your daily work routine, you can really take advantage of the behavioral automation. And that's how you're going to convert more leads who are becoming active. This is your dashboard. And right here, front and center, is the activity stream. The more you're driving people back to your website and the more they engage, it's all displayed for you right here. So you can see exactly what is going to be important for you to spend your time on when you log in. Now, we've been in the space for a long time, and because of that, and because we've got such a broad reach in the industry, we have data that tells us that these 3 things are things that are really going to move the needle for agents in their business. Number 1, we know that agents who are consistently adding 40 plus new leads to their pipeline are selling 5 times more than other agents. Number 2, agents who log into their platform daily and are following up quickly with new leads are 9 times more effective closing transactions than agents who only log in once a week or less. And agents who have 50% or more of their contacts receiving multi-touch alerts or campaigns are driving 3 times the transactions of other agents. So these 3 buckets are critical for you to include and be mindful of as part of your business plan. Oh my goodness, I keep double clicking the button there. Okay, so on top of all of that, we also have Bold Academy. It's our in-house coaching program. It gives you access to more coaching content and tools that are going to help you maximize your lead generation and your investments. With a focus on business and accountability, masterminding with top producers and coaches who are teaching you how to implement the strategies that we know work, there's also a mixture of content so you can get the information in ways that work for you, whether it's live, on demand. There are short form and long form videos. And our goal is really to help you personalize the platform to align with your business goals, because your success is our success. All right, let's talk about some exciting things we also have coming so soon. The first is HomeSearch AI. Like I said in the beginning, AI is becoming a major player in the space, as you all know, and we've seen firsthand how it can empower agents. HomeSearch AI challenges really everything we thought a real estate search could be. It's smarter, it can deliver more personalized results using natural sounding and feeling language that keeps your consumers coming back to your site and not the portals. This helps you stop the search and stay connected with more consumers. We're really excited for this feature. It transforms your database into an engagement and referral engine. Essentially, it highlights properties that have a high match potential for your consumers. With the match percentages, it's surfacing the almost perfect homes that your clients didn't even know they would love. So this is similar to the similar and nearby listings, right? But it's really using AI to even level that up a bit more, just keeping them more active and in conversation mode. You'll also receive a weekly snapshot form here from BoldTrail that's showing you your top search trends and engagement insights from your own database. Really, it takes all the guesswork out of it, and it shows you exactly what your consumers are looking for, what's trending, and what you should be focused on. I know I mentioned our enhanced mobile app, but we also have some really slick new features being released for mobile. It will be able to listen, learn, and act thanks to the built-in AI voice transcription that's going to turn your conversations into actions for you in your platform. It'll create search alerts. It can assign a follow-up task, and it can even capture key client details for you. Basically, you speak and the app handles the rest. And you can feel really confident using this that nothing is going to slip through the cracks. The Vitals dashboard gives you true insight into your personal productivity, lead engagement, and the health of your database. With Vitals, you know exactly what actions to take every day to stay on track when you log into your platform. This is how you can master accountability and stay focused on the things that matter and drive results, right? Identify the top priority, the most actionable opportunities, and get those actions done in your platform so you can focus on other money-producing types of activities. We also have the Folio integration. Folio is going to organize your inbox in ways you probably never thought possible. The AI acts like an email assistant, automatically tracking timelines, documents, and next steps with your consumers without all of the manual work. It's like if we were to give every agent a transaction coordinator that lives in and works out of your email. Another feature I'm very excited to talk about is deals. This feature captures your full pipeline journey, every stage from capture to nurture to appointment to close, so you can manage your pipeline more effectively. There is conversion reporting, which is so valuable. Every stage of the client journey holds these valuable indicators. And what Deals does is it captures that information and it delivers it to you in a way that helps you understand realistically how many leads equal a conversation for you, how many conversations that you have equal appointments, and so on and so forth through to the end of the transaction. And so no more guessing. It just tells you this is what happens in your actual business based off of your activities. My goodness, again, I promise I'll get the hang of this. All right. So, I mean, overall, our mission is to innovate toward real customer outcomes. Inside Real Estate is dedicated to being a reliable tech partner to you. We provide the support, training, and resources that will really scale your business. And we offer the vision to deliver ongoing innovation and success to our growing customer base. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you'll scan the QR code to join the BoldTrail priority list and lock in BoldTrail as your CRM of choice. Take advantage of the end-to-end ecosystem and be better on BoldTrail. It's time to be bold.